And we are here. Let's do it, people. Welcome to another edition of Wake and Pack on a Friday morning. TGIF, y'all. Thank God it's Friday. Newsworthy day yesterday for our franchise. Matt LaFleur at a press conference, first one in a couple weeks or something like that. And more importantly, Jeff Hafley had his introduction to, the Packers franchise as being a defensive coordinator, man, his first interview. Shout out to Zane Strong, man. Hell yeah, Wake and Pack is in full effect. The Wake and Pack family is motherfucking here. Shout out to John Boehner, man. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Time to get a watch. I don't know which way you want to go with that, but it's time to hit that like button. Y'all know that. When you see John Boehner in the building, hit that motherfucking like button, man, for your boy, please. Shout out to Brandy Lewis. Yeah, hey, listen. First of all, time is an illusion. Time is an illusion. Past, present, and future is all the same. And definitely, Hafley said a bunch. And we're going to get into that, Miss Brandy Lewis. Shout out to my boy, Ernie Martinez. Shout out to all the Waking Packers. So, let's get into this shit. Let me find my lighter. Okay. So, Coach Hafley, right? A lot of questions were answered. First thing I want to start off is what I like, and of course I was pleased with the whole interview. Or what, not interview, just press conference, whatever you want to call it. I was pleased with it, and I'm going to tell you why. He took the floor, first of all, and this shows, and this kind of shows that he's been, well, that's a definite. And clearly he kept saying, he only been there 2 weeks. So I think that was out for him to punt on a lot of things and not have to answer questions directly, but I still think he did a good job. And it ain't his, I don't think it's in our interest. We want to know everything, but what we want to do, let him, say his whole game plan. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't going to happen. But I just like that he took the floor and started off by thanking everybody. It wasn't like he just came in nervous, like, okay, what's your guys' questions? He said, first of all, I like to thank everybody, and I'm thankful to be here. Yeah, I was impressed too. Hell yeah. Hey, that's what I've been saying, Zane, and I'm glad we're on the same page about that. I'm like, he's kind of like a mirror of him. You know what I'm saying? So here the fuck we go, right? Let me take a spark of this. So yeah, you can just tell the man's been a head coach before. The demand that he initially started with. First of all, hey, I'm gonna introduce myself, all that, but let me thank the people I need to thank, and I am happy to be here. And one thing that he said was very appealing to him was Brian Gutekunst, y'all. How about that? So in Gut we trust. He just applauded the job that Gutekunst did. He applauded the job he's done over the past few years to get these talented players. So that is something that for sure said sway him to come to Green Bay. And he said it was more about Green Bay, him coming here, than actually leaving Boston College, where he was comfortable at and kind of didn't want to leave. But he said Green Bay is somewhere he just had to be. He actually called it the Mecca of football. You know what I'm saying? And for him to come in and say something strong like that, that means he knows his history. He already talked about the history. He talked about the town. He respects it. He respects Green Bay's fans, and he respects the history. One word we got to say about Hafley is respect, too, because he said not only does the players have to earn his respect, he said he has to earn their respect, too. It's vice versa. So that shows he's transparent. He's flexible. And even for the fans, I think he called us out. Quiet as kept. It may have been subtle, but when asked about the Green Bay fans, he said maybe they're the best fans in the world. I don't know why he put that maybe before it, But it's up to us. It's up to Green Bay faithful to let him know that we are the best franchise and fans of a franchise in the NFL. So he gave us that out. We even have to earn his respect, you know? I also like how he used us, we, our, even in the past tense to where there was times, you know, he said they too, but I just like how he says our and us, even when things about situations where he wasn't here. So that was good. Again, he's flexible. How is he flexible? He plays to the player's strengths. You know, you cannot forget that. He plays to the player's strengths. That's what the bottom line of his whole deal on defense is, you know? And that's how it should be with everybody. Some people just come up with their scheme, this my scheme, and you need to do this way. Hafley's more like, hold on, what do you do best? Let's work on what you do best, and let's put that on full display on the field. So again, we're gonna be seeing a lot of Rashawn Gary moving around. Another thing I like that he did, you know, they kind of tried to give him a chance. You know, looking at the roster, you got some studs. They really wanted him to start naming some guys that he's, you know, excited to work with. And what did he do? He punted on that. Number one, he probably hasn't had enough time to really give a good synopsis on each player he would like. He's only been there 2 weeks, and there's other shit he needs to handle. Shout out to Darius Quinn, man. What's the word? But the answer he did give was out of respect for all the players. There are some I'll think about and who I know I'm going to use in a certain way, but out of respect for all the players, I ain't going to say shit about nobody. That further proves that everybody has a clean slate with this guy. Everybody is starting from zero with this guy. I don't care what Zane Anderson did last year. He barely played or whatever. He on the roster. Zane Anderson might get a goddamn shot with this defense. Darnell Savage, he kind of answered the question we had about that. They pretty much asked him about the prototypical safety. You know what I'm saying? And what he would like in that. And he said we would all like the prototypical, you know, we want everybody to be 6'3", 6'4". But he says that's not the end all be all. So Antoine Whitfield Jr. can fit in this scheme. He's 5'9". Darnell Savage can fit into this scheme. He's 5'11". You know what I'm saying? Of course, for that post safety. So that's what he's calling it. Okay. Some said star position. That was kind of what Barry called it. But we got to get to this Hafley language, and it's called the post safety, right? The roaming safety. You know, they asked how important that was. And of course, he said it was important. But again, you're not going to, especially on the defensive side of the ball, you're not going to, of course, everybody knows on offense, the quarterback is the most important, and everybody can say that and not have a problem with it. But when the defense, you can't really say what's most important. They kind of tried to like corner him in into answering about this position he has as safety, but he kind of punted on that. I agree. I think we for sure should be a top 10 defense, man. We got the pieces in place. This guy, he seems like a great teacher, you know. He can relay the word, his coaching staff too. And another thing about his coaching staff, okay? They will. Definitely in their first year too. Shout out to Packers Kingdom, man. Shout out to Taylor Bell. Yeah, man. You know, again, first year, you know, all these players are going to want to impress him. All these players have a clean slate. So they like, well, shit, I didn't get no time last year. That was under Barry. You know, it's time to show him what I could do. You know, what I do best. Because again, Hafley's not just putting people out there. What you do best, we're going to have you do that. I'm not sure about that. But what I'm sure of is that was definitely talked about. And also what I'm sure of is Hafley was he hired the whole staff. You know, of course, LaFleur hired the whole staff, but Hafley had his hand in it the whole time. And when you look at his whole staff, it's people he worked with, people he's familiar with, and people he knows. We can start with Coach O. You know, he talked good of all of his coaches, but he pretty much said Coach O is that guy. He is that tough, hard coach. He's going to get on you reasonably, though. You know, he said we are to demand and not demean, right? You can ask for something, but that don't mean you got to tear somebody down. But you can ask for excellence, right? He talked about how him and Coach O was in San Francisco together. That's when they first met. And then Coach O was in UCLA when Half got his first job at Boston College. He just gave him a call and say, hey, you want to come over? That's when he came over. He said he's a great communicator. Again, ex-player, Duke graduate. I think we got a guy in Coach O. And this may be, at one point and one time, one of the historic. I ain't going to go as far as to say that this is like Steve Mariucci, Andy Reid, Mike Sherman, all those people who was, on the Packers staff with just crazy John Gruden, and they all turned into something. But, Coach O seems like, Hafley said he knows the whole field. Yeah, he's the D tackle, D line coach, but he knows everything. Okay. And that's good to know. He may be a future head coach DC at some point. You got to think that Coach Hafley is going to be a future head coach, and it's about time Matt LaFleur starts, he's still kind of a Shanahan guy, but it's about time Matt LaFleur has his own coaching disciples, Nathaniel Hackett out there, we still wish he does well. And, Matt LaFleur is going to start having people come from under him. And I think Hafley would do it. I think this hire is a 2-3 year type deal. Somebody's going to pick Hafley up. Obviously, it has to work out on the field, but the way he sees the game and his philosophy is really good. And I could see why, he was offered the coaching job. We like to talk about Matt LaFleur as a player's coach, right? Not only is he a player's coach, he is a coach's coach. Why? Because Hafley talked about the conversations between him and LaFleur, and he said it was more of a conversation than a direction, right? So LaFleur is going to let you do your job. And then again, LaFleur didn't say, this is what I want, this is what I need. LaFleur said, what are you going to give me? And I agree on that. So you got to just be happy about how, how flexible LaFleur is. And again, not only a player's coach, but a coach's coach. Another thing Hafley said, which is Matt LaFleur-esque, which I said he's kind of like a mirror of Matt LaFleur, is he doesn't care whose idea it is. And that takes a lot. Some coaches are so prideful that they want to be the end-all be-all and be the one who made up that game-winning script of the drive, the last drive, the game-winning play, the 3rd and 2. Of course, everybody wants to dial that up. But Coach Half said, I don't care whose idea it is. And again, what they say, especially with good presidents or just good leaders in general, to be a good leader, you got to have good people around you, right? So that's another thing. Hafley has always showed his appreciation to all his previous stops, and even showed his appreciation to certain players. And he said he's dug in and learned more about coaching, talking to certain players than actually talking to coaches. Richard Sherman, Darrelle Revis, Rondé Barber. So, and he said he continuously talks to Richard Sherman still. So, you never know. It's a small world. Sherm want to come coach our DBs, want to help out. Come up over here, man. Smart guy. And he lasted a little longer in the league because his body failed him before his mind did. But he still, even in his latter years at San Francisco and stuff like that, was still a factor. But Legion of Boom, Richard Sherman, is hard to find somebody better than that. Rodgers would literally not throw his way. Not sure. We got to see what he's capable of. I'm not going to fall like I am in a draft. I'm not going to fall in love with a name. It's just what he's capable of doing. So we'll see. I'll do my due diligence on that. But we do know we need a safety regardless. We need to draft one, and we need to get one in free agency as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, Hafley pretty much explained, his defense is man-based, right? So, he will be playing, a lot of press man. But again, that's not the end-all be-all either. He's flexible. He's flexible to game plans. That's just one of the things I like about him most. He's just very flexible. Oh, yeah. Well, when we first hired him, I did my due diligence, but I'd be a liar to say I knew anything about him too. We all on the same page. We all on the same page about that. So, doesn't care whose idea it is. That shows a great coach. I cannot find my goddamn. Hold on, y'all. Damn ashtray. So yeah, size does not matter to Hafley. Size doesn't matter. If somebody's undersized, he's gonna get him the opportunity. He mentioned LaFleur's record being 56-27. I mean, just shows that he knows what's going on. He's aware of shit like that. And he even said in college he still watched NFL film every week. So don't think that he's not going to be prepared just because he's coming from the college game. And actually, he said, which is another good point for me in his conference. He said, "Well, when I went to college, they said I was an NFL guy, and how would I grasp to the college game?" So pretty much, he's already an NFL guy. You know what I'm saying? And they do have differences, but there's, of course, football is football, right? So there's a lot of similarities in college football, and sometimes trends that start in college football get taken over in the NFL and changing the direction of the NFL for a couple years. Y'all seen it's about the new hot offense. The Shanahan offense is pretty much taking over the league, but eventually there's going to be somebody else who comes up with something to counter that. So, if I'm going to nitpick, right? If I'm going to nitpick, he didn't, mention the Bears, nor did he mention the Super Bowl. So as far as the Bears, he doesn't really have to mention them. I know it is a rivalry, but when you're on the side of the rivalry that we are, like what did Lovie Smith do as soon as he came in and got the job at Chicago, which he should still be there today? They still haven't found the man. He said, "I just want to beat Green Bay." I'm like, okay, yeah, that made me pumped up as a Packer fan. They didn't do it, but he didn't mention that. But again, this is his first interview, and then he just didn't mention Super Bowl, But again, only been there 2 weeks. That's just that's just where we at right now. Another thing he said that was most important to him was player development. What do the Packers do? Draft and develop. So again, he's going to get his hands on these guys early. The guys we drafted 2 years ago, the guys we drafted a year ago, and these guys now. So, his teaching mechanisms it's going to really show. You know what I'm saying? We didn't just get a guy who's going to be there on Sunday calling the plays, right? It takes way more than that. He's going to be developing players. And with him, it's not about the what. It's about the why. He said when a player goes out there and fucks up, sometimes they'll come back to me thinking I'm going to rip a hole in their ass, and I don't. But I just ask them, why did they do what they did? And so we could fix it. And when I get their answer, I'll give them my counter answer. Which could be, oh, okay, I didn't think of it like that. We'll continue to do that. Or, okay, well, how about we try it this way? Flexibility, y'all. Well, Hafley compared to Barry is, I guess you would say opposites, right? What was the Joe Barry special? Corners, 10 to 15 yards off, soft zone, you know what I'm saying? Damn near prevent defense. What's the first thing they told Hafley? He said, "What do you guys know about me?" They said, "We know everything." The first thing they said, "You're going to play press man every play." Now, again, he's not going to play it every play, but that was a joke that they know, like, hey, you like to do that. But in order to do that, you got to have the proper pieces. And he agreed that he has the proper pieces also. So that's another good thing. Okay, yeah, we could get on that. I'll be home a little later today. After this, I gotta go. Yeah, I'll be home a little later on. So yeah, we could definitely do that. I owe you one, man. I'm gonna get a practice game in before too. Yeah, he respects the history. Let's talk about the coaches. Campanile, right? He tried to actually hire him 2 times previous. I think he tried at BC and he tried at somewhere else he was at. So they are familiar with each other. And it's crazy that it comes full circle in Green Bay. Maybe it was meant to happen. Hafley tried to get Anthony Campanile, my bad. Niehoff, y'all, my bad. Campanile, he tried to get him before. Coach O already worked with him. There's one more coach that that'll be a whole nother wake and pack probably Monday. There's one more coach we got to get out the way that we didn't talk about. And we're going to him in depth too. But he talked well about all his coaches, and it was all about communication. And another thing about sorry, y'all motherfuckers walking all over the place. Lost my train of thought. But talk good about all the coaches. Okay, yeah. So what they asked him was about his safety position, which he calls the post safety. Okay, so it's called post safety. He just said that he just needs somebody to be kind of like general stuff, um, aggressive, be an eraser, be an eliminator, and be a communicator. Once I heard communicate, I thought of Darnell Savage. That is one of the good things about his game, believe it or not. Maybe it's because he's played 6-7 years in the league. Sometimes you just start knowing shit just because of you just seeing it all the time. I seen that he was the communicator to Keyshawn most times he was in the game. Hey, he was the one really like taking on that role. So again, we'll see which route we go with safety, but totally do not cancel out Darnell Savage for a 1-year prove it deal, man. We got enough kicking the can down the road, like. And then Russ Ball's a genius. Like, he's going to figure shit out. But, we go get it together. He definitely can. And, he's going to be, and that was mentioned too, he can relay the word to, a lot of these other players on the team. And what else was mentioned, they asked him like, well, how fast can you get everybody to be on board or to learn the playbook? And he said it's up to the individual. Like I previously said, like, am I right or am I right? It's like when you go in the classroom, some motherfuckers might be cool with getting 7 out of 10. Or that one who wanted 10 out of 10 was probably up a little later at night studying. But he also said the better players who pick it up faster, and there are going to be players who pick it up faster, they're going to have to be leaders and relay the word, to the people on the squad who doesn't know as much. Not necessarily single high, but post safety is pretty much, I guess, what people will call the star position. He could play a lot of single high, but the post safety is just like, I guess, the roaming safety, the star position. So he can be single high, or he could be the one roaming around. I think it's the star position and it's the kind of nickel, roaming nickel. Like it's a cross between a safety and a corner. It's really you just dictating, like, the play kind of dictates what you do, right? You know what I'm saying? So you have different roles, and it's more of a reaction to what the offense is showing you. That's what I think that position is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have a play called for him. They'll call the play, and then he'll figure out what his role is pre-snap or what he's going to do. And then they also got some other stuff pre-snap where they will have him fake walking up to the line of scrimmage and then sprint out and go into coverage. So would that be single high? I mean, yeah, you have one high, but the other guy ended up being high too. So, definitely you're going to have 7 in the box for sure. And again, with this roaming safety, sometimes you're going to have 8 in the box, Brandy. First of all, you don't want your secondary trying to make tackles on running backs anyway. So, the first 2 lines of defense has to get it done anyway. So to have more people up there, that is, I would call a disadvantage in the 3-4. 3-4, you could rush the passer on the 3rd down when it's 3rd and long, with good outside rushers. But in the 3-4, it is hard to stop the run, unless you got you a Gilbert Brown and a fucking Julius Peppers, and then on the other side, fucking Reggie White. A 3-4 work good, like with them, like, handling the line like that, and it depends on the linebackers too. But definitely more players are going to be around the line of scrimmage. And again, a lot of deception. Motherfucker, you might see Rashawn walk up there like he about to rush in and then just drop back. Then the other time, Savage come up, act like he about to rush in and drop back. Or Savage just roaming and then rushes in to try to go for a sack. Attacking defense. And another thing difference about this defense, once the ball is in the air, everybody's eyes are to go to the ball. Now, I know you would think, like, shouldn't that be what it is normally? No. So, hey, when you call zone, you go to that. Make sure nobody cross your face. If somebody does cross your face, then you can handle them. But, that's just covering your zone. They don't give a fuck where you are on the field. As soon as that ball is launched, they, like, go get to the ball. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good philosophy. That'll make people who weren't even in position to begin with actually be in position to make a pick, make a play. The quarterback can hesitate a little bit and then throw something crazy. That's how a lot of turnovers happen. And what do we need? Turnovers. Definitely. That's why it's attacking. When you attack, you dictate. Again, that's the total opposite from Joe Barry. Joe Barry was like, we just going to keep it in front of us. So that's like pretty much get yours, but we just ain't going to give you the big one. This one is dictating because, again, we got a dude just walking around, roaming safety, post safety, what he calls it. You don't know what he's going to do. Is he walking over here to get a better angle on the tight end to go out and guard him? Is he walking over here to guard the flat running back coming out? Again, you can dictate when they don't know what's coming. When Peyton Manning, he was so great because he'll go to the line of scrimmage. Oh, okay, this is what you're doing? Okay, boom, boom, boom. Here, Omaha, blah, blah, blah. Throw a touchdown. You can't really do that because you don't know what people doing. It's so many people moving around. And it's just like, again, it's like a LaFleur's offense, but on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of motion. You're going to see a lot of motherfuckers just running by, just doing all kind of shit, dictating. Listen, I ain't gonna lie, Darius. I'm gonna say top 5. I'm gonna be bold about it and stand on it. Why? Because this man's first year, fuck just Jordan Love. Him and LaFleur's first year together, look what he did. Look what the numbers he came up with. Second to only Dak Prescott, who's been in his system for a good 4 or 5 years now, who knows the ins and outs of everything. And this is a first-year starter, and he puts up arguable numbers to Dak's, and he ended the season stronger than Dak. Obviously, not just with the win, but after week 12, J Love did something crazy like, I forgot how many touchdowns, like, I don't know, fucking 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He had some kind of crazy run like that, Aaron Rodgers-esque. So, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely think we could have a top 10 in passing for sure because we got all the tools there. And in running, that's only if Aaron Jones can stay healthy. And I mean fucking only missed 3 games or 4 games. I'll be satisfied with that. He normally missed 6, 7, 8, 9 games like he did this year. So if we can keep him healthy, I don't know if we're going to draft somebody else. I'm fine with A.J. Dillon, especially, fuck it. Give him a 2-year or, I don't think it's an emergency right now for running back. And when we need to do it, we'll just go draft the best running back. It's easy to get and find running back. Sorry to say, y'all. We don't need to be just using a premium pick on a running back. You can find one in the 3rd or 4th round. We let go of good running backs who I think could have did good on this offense. Kylan Hill, Tyler Goodson. So yeah, man. So yeah, man. All guys on his staff he used to work with. He knows about them. They worked with this person. They worked with that person. Everybody's familiar with everybody on his defense. It's coaching staff. So, they're going to be a good unit because they already know each other. So when first days of training camp and all that shit, and, all the coaches are standing out there, it's a new staff. I've had this feeling before. When you get a new coaching staff, like you really running out there like, ooh, I'm impressed the coach. I'm going to let him know that I'm the one he need to be watching. I'm going to it's going to be a good melting pot of intensity. And I think this offseason, hey, I feel bad for whatever team comes in for the practices and all that because we're going to beat up on them. Hopefully, well, I was going to say hopefully it's the Patriots, but Belichick is no longer there. So I don't care if it's the Patriots or not. But it's going to be interesting to see who we bring in to help us out. Man, he got to prove it to me at this point. There's been times where he would almost reach it, and it just seemed like the motor runs out a little bit, or again, great player and all that, but you know, are we ever going to get a Bane Gary every time, or sometimes are we going to see Rashawn, which is good, and then we're going to see Bane every 3 or 4 games? Can we get Bane at a better clip than we do now? That's all I'm saying. We need the 2 sack games with a strip fumble a little more often than once or twice a season. Oh, definitely, because why? He has the speed. That's number one. Number two, he's going to have 2 other backers in there with him. So the run is going to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Between Isaiah, maybe Devondre, or whoever else they want to draft, or whoever else they want to get in free agency. Now, that's another thing I can't wait. I cannot wait till we know what the pieces are so we can know what's going on. But let's just say with the fucking guys we got already. Okay. So Dre and Isaiah, you could probably, get the running back out of the backfield, and Quay, you could guard the tight end, and then Isaiah, so like it makes it way more versatile with that many linebackers out there, and versatile linebackers, ones that go sideline to sideline, because in the 3-4 the linebackers are more like the rusher ends, like a Preston and Gary. With this defense, you're getting more linebackers like McDuffie, Quay, and Dre in there. They all still linebackers, but at this point, outside linebackers like Preston and Rashawn Gary are pretty much defensive ends, but you know how I go. Their position is linebacker, but then that's why they just start calling them rushers. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to call them a linebacker or a DN. Hey, bro, I'm feeling that way too. And again, I'm not just being a homer or being biased. I mean, fuck it, it is a Packer channel, but goddamn it, I really feel the same way, man. The iron is hot right now, and you got to strike it. And I think Brian Gutekunst seen that. Like, I really didn't think Gutekunst was even thinking about spending money this year. We got dead money. We could still got to figure out what we're gonna do with so many things. I'm just thinking like, man, we ain't gonna do no free agency moves. But he sees, just like how he seen J Love when we first had Goots conference, and like after week whatever, and they asked him about Love. He said, look, this is not enough time to see. So after that, Love lit the shit on fire. Goot had to see, like, you know what? We might be able to win this shit now. So, hey, come on, Goot. Don't be talking, man. We already did a whole video about this. Goot, don't come up there talking about, oh, we're looking at any player in free agency. Don't say that and then offer these motherfuckers a hot dog and a Coke, man. If you gonna talk like you gonna go make a move, bro, go make that fucking move, bro. We could use an Antoine Whitfield, we could use a goddamn, and we might just do the swap thing again. Some people's talk about, and you already know this is going to happen with the NFC North. Soon as free agency comes, who's going to be first in line for Savage? Who's going to be first in line for whoever else we have as free agents? The Bears, the Lions. So, I was hearing that Darnell Savage might, end up going to the Bears. They probably will offer him something big. If y'all did that, let's go in and do the swap again. We'll take Eddie Jackson, Eddie Jackson is more of a ball hawk type dude, like I did. Savage is a communicator, good athletic skills, but he's out of position a lot of times when it comes to catching one-on-ones, and even we seen the drop pass. I mean, that you got to take to the house. Eddie Jackson, no doubt in my mind, sorry to say, would have probably caught that and took it to the house. Definitely, bro. It's about that time. Fuck that 12 and 13. You got motherfuckers out there. Myles Garrett, other motherfuckers been hitting 20 and shit. Come on, Rashawn. But again, Rashawn will get unleashed. He gonna be on the left. He gonna be on the right. He gonna be over the middle. It's gonna be crazy. You don't think? And again, Coach Hafley, what do you do best? Oh, that's what you do best? We're gonna put you in that position. What does Rashawn Gary do best? What has he done best since he came in the league? Fucking bull rush. With hands in the dirt and without hands in the dirt. And actually, with hands in the dirt, Rashawn is more dangerous. We've seen him in clips, in a off-season clips and all that, how fast he fires off, man. Especially on all fours. Like he gonna, hey, he's gonna get unleashed along with LVN too. I think this year or the year after, or the year after that, we have a legit 3-year window. Why? Because we are only ascending. That's number one. And I'm confident in the direction, especially with this coaching staff and the leadership of where we're going to go for the next couple of years for sure. We got enough players under contract that we're going to have for the next couple of years who's going to give it their all and improve more than they did. And if you're looking at the scenery out there, I ain't really scared of nobody at all. At all. Dallas, bring them. San Francisco, we owe you one, and we're going to get that back. We're going to get it back twice next year. I hope we do. I hope we do. Sorry, hey, Goat Mike's in the building. I'm sorry. I hope we play San Francisco twice next year and beat them both times, bro. That's how I'm feeling about them. I ain't scared of them, and I know we could beat them. You damn right about that. And because again, it's just on the fire. It just helps you with the fire off, right? So if you firing off a lot faster, again, the tackle or guard, you know, he's gonna be in the backfield, especially with Gary's bull rush. So yeah, that definitely is gonna help the run game for sure. And for LVN too, you know, I don't see Preston with 4 hands in the dirt. I see him with 3 hands in the dirt probably, or they could probably let Uncle P stand up. Or again, you know, it's not a guarantee he's gonna stay or be around. I mean, you know, we all hope he does, and I think he still got a lot in the tank. But you know, again, all this stuff is adjustable, it's flexible. Why? Because we have a smart guy like Hafley. Of course, if a coach wants his prototypical team out there over time and drafting and developing players, he can get that. But when you're first just coming into a situation, which he's done many a times, you know, he's had to be a DC for somewhere for the first time, had to be a head coach for the first time. He, you know, hey, he's handling business, y'all. So yeah, man, I like the whole deal, man. You know, he gave Green Bay their credit. He mentioned LaFleur's record and the job he did. He mentioned Goot, the great job he's done. He knows that he has inherited, you know, a great roster. And again, he's what I seen in the interview is he's more than just the guy who's going to be calling plays on the sideline. He's going to help develop these players. He's going to make them a lot better. He's coached some of the greatest and picked the brains of some of the greatest nickels in the league. Rondé Barber, probably one of the best nickels ever. He coached him up and and picked his brain. So what you think he gonna do with this fresh nickel that we draft? You know what I'm saying? Because we need one, and Keyshawn could stay on special teams. We're gonna draft the corner, and I think, you know, somebody moldable. You know, I think, you know, I think we're gonna draft the corner and put him at nickel. You know, so I don't know if the dude from Iowa, you know, if he's capable of doing that. I forgot what boy name, Dijon or something like that, but we're gonna see. I did not know that, and that would be fucking dope. Man, look, I would love to go to Brazil in general, bro. Like, man, I better get my passport ready for that one. That would be awesome to see the Packers and go to Brazil for the first time. So yeah, that would be dope. But hey, we getting the draft and all that shit. And hell yeah, and that's coming up really, really soon. So, you know, it's going down. We're gonna have a lot more newsworthy things to come up, y'all. But you know, I'm gonna get up out of here. But again, hey, he couldn't have said it any better. He said this is the football mecca. Hey, once he said that, I said we got a fucking guy. He wouldn't have said that if he would have went to the fucking Generals. I mean Generals. I was gonna say Redskins, whatever the fuck, Washington, what the Commanders, goddamn it. He wouldn't have said that if he went there. He wouldn't have said that if he went to the damn New York Giants. Hey, New York might be the mecca of basketball and all this and that, but the mecca of football is where? 12 motherfucking 65 Lombardi Avenue. And with that, I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here. Y'all have a good day. Happy Friday. I did a video about the Matt LaFleur press conference. You know, I was gonna talk about that too here, but I would still be running my mouth right now, and I got to split. Oh yeah, for sure. But Darius, let's make sure we give Hafley enough time. One thing is you know, getting the keys to the car, but you got to get used to driving it. When you drive a car for the first time, first day, it's like, you know, but after about a good week, 2 weeks, and that's just with driving every day, but you only get one game a week. You know, you only get so many practice hours. Let's give Hafley the proper amount of time. And if we just came from Joe Barry, I think Hafley's going to come in already. Hafley's floor is probably going to be Joe Barry's, like, the better Joe Barry. So I think he's just going to come in automatically better. Again, players are going to even get better, not even knowing it, because they you know, of course they're going to come in and work hard. They're professionals at this point. But again, Rashawn gonna want to show like, oh, this new DC got to know, like, I'm not real. I'm that dude. You know, a lot of people gonna come in and do that. But I'm getting the fuck up out of here, man. Thanks everybody for coming through. House of Red Wine. Thank you. My boy Darius Quinn. Thank you. Brandy Lewis. Always thank you so much. Blake 22. Thank you for coming through. Shout out to my boy Zane Strong. Appreciate you. What you do? Hey, I'm gonna holler at you later. I'm gonna catch you later, bro. Hey, and then we'll see. It ain't gonna be till Monday. Monday, y'all, we're gonna report. I'm gonna report to you guys Monday what happened between me and Zane and Madden. But I'm not letting AJ Dillon run for anything on me anymore. That was a fucking embarrassment, man. Zane whooped my ass. All right, shout out to Packers Kingdom. Thank you for coming through, bro. Shout out to Ernie Martinez always. Blake 22, John Bainan, Milto, everybody, and I'm out of here. Y'all have a good weekend. I'll see y'all on Monday.